I am joined by John Dodson, who currently sits at #1 in that flyweight division. John, thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
I love talking to you because I always feel like I get energized by you. You're like the Energizer Bunny. We saw you backstage at weigh-ins at UFC 187. You're bouncing around. Where does that energy come from?
Just enjoying the moment. I like being the center of attention and just knowing the fact that I'm going out there to do something awesome.
Have you always been like that? Have you always been a guy that has a ton of energy and wants to just do stuff all the time, even as a kid?
Yeah, like as a kid, I was that guy who was the one who do anything, go out there and just have fun and enjoy life. Like that's the big part of everything, is to go out there and embrace the moment that's given to you, the opportunities that are there.
And you're getting a lot of opportunities. But before we get into that, I want to talk to you about kind of your background in mixed martial arts. You wrestled in New Mexico. Do you feel like wrestling was the structure that A, you needed for as much energy as you have, but B, also the correct background for your mixed martial arts future?
For me, yes, because of the style of fighting that I wanted to make sure I can control the fight and control the pace with my wrestling pedigree. I want to make sure I can keep it standing at all times, and if every time I want to go to the ground, because if I needed a break to breathe or to go ahead and just finish the fight on easier terms.
How did you then make the transition? How did you say, okay, I was really good at wrestling, and now I think I want to try this fighting stuff?
They found me at a Chuck E. Cheese.
Please, more details.
So I was like 17 years old, and they're asking me all these like penetrating questions, like, hey, where are you going to school after high school? And I was like, I'm gonna go to UNM. They're like, what? They don't have a wrestling program there. One guy just looked at me and tapped me on the shoulder. He was like, school is a foundation, but your talent and your youth, how long do you think that's gonna last? I think you might wanna take the opportunity that you were blessed with and use your God-given talent for something that you can give to the world. It's like, all right, I can go back to finish school anytime, but I ended up doing both of them at the same time. I actually used fighting to pay for school. All my books and everything that I needed, I had to go out and go travel, go fight for the few $100s I was getting, and then I would use that money to go pay for my books and schooling, and I would work a full-time job, and I taught at the gym.
How did you balance all of that then?
Very little sleep. So right now, everyone asks me how much I sleep, and I tell them it's only about 4 hours a night.
When were you able to say, okay, I'm going to step away from school, I'm almost done, but I'm going to take a little break there, I'm going to step away from my job, fighting full-time is what I need to be doing and what I can be doing?
I tell you the truth, that never crossed through my mind. I didn't think I was actually going to make it in fighting. Fighting for me wasn't wasn't really there. Like the highest thing we can go do, and like the biggest place everyone wants to go to, is the UFC. And at the time for me, 155 was going to be the weight class, and I believed in my own abilities that I could be a 155 contender. I've seen guys that come in through the gym that were on the Ultimate Fighter and that have been getting those grateful opportunities to be fighting for titles, and I trained with all of them. But I just knew physically my body wouldn't be able to take it, so I kept on teaching underneath Greg Jackson, and I taught all of his systems, and I opened up his school, I helped him out with it, so that we can go ahead and teach like the younger youths. And Greg just pulled me aside and told me, and basically just had to sit down with me. He's like, John, I want you to be a fighter. I was like, well, coach, it's not really there for me. He goes, yes, it is. You train, you're better than a lot of people, and you don't believe it yourself. I want you to go try out on the Ultimate Fighter. I bought your plane ticket, go ahead and go.
You won the Ultimate Fighter, and you defeated now bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw. You knocked him out in that finale.
Yeah. I ended up going out there, and I was just being myself, and I told everybody I'm gonna knock everybody out. They're like, really? It's like, I'm gonna knock everybody out, and I'm gonna do it with a smile, because it's gonna be awesome.
When you look back on that experience on the Ultimate Fighter, your time in the house, your time winning the finale, what does that bring up in your mind?
Being in the house was the best vacation of my life. I didn't have to worry about my phone. I didn't have to worry about no real responsibilities. I just got up, cooked some food, went to the gym, trained a bit, and then did what I liked, what I enjoyed the most. I went out there and fought. I didn't care about the actual training part. I didn't have to worry about people hounding me for private lessons, to be the coach, go out there, go wrap somebody's hands, to do everything that entitles to being a coach or even have like a real job. I got to do something I enjoyed and found the real passion of bringing myself back to it.
And then you made the trip down to 125, which is working out pretty well for you. How did that decision come about for you between bantamweight and flyweight?
Flyweight was the natural weight class that I was normally geared toward. I told everybody I wanted to win a championship at 125 and then move up.
You were out for a little while because you tore your ACL. How did that impact you mentally?
Mentally, it was super tough. Like, people don't realize how active I really am without my outside world and what I do outside the cage. Well, man, it was like frustrating and it was mentally draining because I couldn't do the like everyday things. Getting up to go to the bathroom was the hardest thing to go do. Like I had to sit there and make sure I had my crutches with me to go start walking around, and literally to leave, I'll leave the house. I want to go to a grocery store. I couldn't drive my own car. It's clutch.
Yeah.
And like I had to literally try to push down on the clutch every single day so I can go ahead and test it out. And if I can barely push it in and hold it for 2 seconds, then I can go ahead and drive around. And it took me maybe a month to actually start pushing it in and holding and having the strength in my knee to go ahead and do it.
While you were injured then, you were probably sitting there thinking about, all right, once I return, that belt's mine, and here's my path to get there.
Yes, like I was sitting there watching every single fight. I watched everybody in my division because I wanted to see how well the division was progressing and seeing who was going to replace me in that limelight. I wanted somebody to step up and be able to be that voice of the 125s because I knew Demetrious Johnsonw was not going to be able to do it. I'll give him the credit that he deserves. He's a tremendous athlete, a great fighter. Cool. Number 3, pound for pound, best fighter in the world. He's one of the best in the division, one of the best in the whole UFC. He just lacks that personality, charisma that everybody wants to see to bring in the 125 division. Like all flyweights hate him because of the fact that he's supposed to be our representative and he's not doing a great job of representing us. I'm going to be that guy to step over Demetrious Johnson, whether he likes it or not. I'm going to take that title away from him, and then people are going to have a new appreciation for 125 and flyweights.
You guys don't really like each other. I wouldn't say there's like a bad blood rivalry, but it's apparent that there's no friendship there.
There's no friendship there for it because, one, I don't have an alien-style haircut. Well, my head's not oddly shaped. I don't have tattoos all over my body. I'm not very monotone on what I say. I'm very animated. And I get confused for Demetrious Johnson everywhere I go. And it doesn't matter where it is. It can even be my hometown, and people will come up to me and sit there and say, "Hey, Mighty Mouse, how are you doing?" And then they'll know my name, but they think I'm him. And I don't get it. Like, I'm tired of being in somebody's shadow, and when I want to sit there and step out and create my own. And he's sitting there pissing me off because he wants to sit there and tell everybody he's so amazing, but they put my name on his face. Like, I don't want to be I don't want to be in the same category as him. I want to be in my own category of being awesome, great, amazing, and this talent of a rich person that I am.
And you guys had a really close first fight. You gave him one of his best fights that he's had probably in his whole career. I've seen that you've said when you look back on that fight, you still believe you won. Is that correct?
Yeah, I still believe I won that fight. I had round 1, 2, and 3. Hands down, I believe I won every single one of those rounds because I dropped him every time. And if it's boxing, I dropped him twice in one round, so that's a 10-7 round. I had 10-8 round when I was sitting there dusting him in the 3rd round. Only 2 rounds I know I lost was 4th and 5th because I did get tired. I ain't gonna lie, cardio did kick in, and I was here listening to my mom screaming at me, telling me to go ahead and hunt him. I was trying to yell at my mom to shut up.
Ever since that fight, I've got to imagine then it's been in the back of your mind, whether you had an opponent or not who wasn't named Demetrious Johnson, you've been wanting to get back to that.
In my eyes, I've already been defending the title every single chance I got because everybody I've been fighting has been a part of the top 10. Not even the top 10, the top 5 guys in the world. Mm-hmm. Like I fought former champions, guys that fought for the title, and I'm fighting all the best guys. Of course he doesn't want to fight me. He already knows in the back of his mind that I'm coming after him, and it's not going to be the same like it was the first time. The first time I gave him way too much respect. I sat there and watched me hit him, I watched him fall, and I watched him walk away with my title. And I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm not going to let him think that I'm going to go out there and give him the same type of fight where he's going to survive for 5 rounds. It wasn't necessarily me surviving those last 2 rounds. It was me sitting there just being comfortable enough thinking that I had to win already. So now I need to go out there and just do what I've been doing with every single fight that I've had leading up to this point, and just being the same type of aggressive, down and dirty person, and sit there and hit them and enjoy every single moment of it.
If you win that belt, are you going to be the kind of champion who wants to face the best of the best and the cream of the crop?
When I win, I'm going to make sure I get every single of the best fighters every chance I get. So if they want me to fight somebody within 2 months, 1 month, I will be willing to give them the opportunity to face me every chance. So if they wanted if Demetrious wanted an automatic rematch, I would take that fight and I would beat up everybody else underneath them.
Now that you take a look at the flyweight division, what do you see and what do you see for the future?
For the future, it's nothing but bright things. I see all these guys that are coming in that's going to surpass me. I know that there's going to be guys that are going to be holding that belt and actually going to be holding that number 1 position at the pound per pound list. It's no longer going to be guys that are going to be 205 or heavyweights in that division. They're going to sit there and be the number one slot. Pound for pound, it's going to be probably starting with the flyweights or even with bantamweights. So that's what I'm seeing for. For right now, all I can say is there's only a few handful of names that I can sit there and say that are the leading pioneers for those flyweights.
Right.
And it's definitely going to be me, Joseph Benavidez, Ian McCall, and Demetrious Johnson. Those are the only people that anybody really knows from the flyweights, and we're going to start making everybody else well known while we put them on our highlight reels.
Absolutely. Hey, that's a great way to look at it.
I'm going to make them famous.
Best of luck to you. Always a pleasure talking to you and watching you fight.
Well, thank you. I can't wait to talk to you again when I have that title.